Okay, welcome to Monday afternoon. So this is Star Trek Online. Now I know I mentioned in my Illusion of Gaia randomizer, I didn't think I was going to stream any of this, but I played it over the weekend. And my opinions have evolved, I want to say, about this game. I still kind of use that in quotes, game. Okay, it is a game. Let's be fair. So, let me get some things out of basic. I did play quite a bit of this over the weekend, actually, just to kind of get into it. My initial impressions of it weren't that great or positive, but I think that started to change a little bit when I did like a second character, this one Meryl, who starts off in the original series uh, era, I want to say. And to be perfectly honest, I actually found that pretty fun. I think that was a lot more fun than the standard Federation start. And I kind of, well, spoilers, Meryl ends up in the 25th century Federation. I kind of wish it kept going in the original series era instead of time traveling to the 25th century era. But that's just my opinion. I guess they couldn't make an entire new MMO game with just original series content, but it would have been nice. But what was there was actually pretty good. I actually found it pretty fun. Especially now that I've gotten kind of far into the game, I'm starting to actually kind of like it now. I don't like everything about this. It's still clunky. I think that description still fits. But anyway, let's stop looking at the title screen, opening screen here, whatever you want to call it, and get into the game. No, we're not doing this here. Get away from this. No. Yeah, I'm trying to play this in 720p just for streaming. I'm not gonna do this a lot here because all the UIs are kind of squinched together right now. So this is just for the stream. Wow, my UI is like squunched together right now. This is not how I normally would play it. In 1080p, it's a lot more manageable. As you can see, I have a Galaxy class ship right now. Very nice, very nice. At least you get the option to play like the regular classic ships in this game. I'm not a big fan of some of the, like I've already mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of some of the unique designs to this game. Some of them are just, ugh. But at least you can get this, and I think what I want to do is, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do. I'm just going to talk about the game a little bit here. So, we have our map here in the Beta Quadrant, as they call it. So, the early initial missions were, well, I actually kind of forgot about them. They involved the Klingons, something, and then it kind of, I've been like involved with the Romulans for, it feels like freaking forever now, and I think we're still involved with the Romulans. Although it's kind of, it's changed over into the Remans now. I don't really care about the Remans, I really don't. It's just whatever. What I'm finding pretty nice about the game is that they are bringing in some cameos from the original series cast and everything. Well, okay, let me step back here. A lot of the original series cameos are in the original series start. Especially between Chekhov and Scotty, you do interact with them a lot. And the Federation, well, modern, I feel weird calling this modern Federation. 25th century Federation in the game. You get cameos from other characters like Geordi, Nog. I hope you know who Nog is. I find it weird that Nog is almost like a captain or admiral. It's just, I never expect that out of him. Just, it's weird. Was there anybody else? Oh, Silo. Probably not a lot of players are going to remember who Sela was, but Sela was kind of a big deal back in the next generation. She was the Romulan version of Tasha Yar. She plays a big role in this game, well, at least so far. And I think part of the big reason I kind of wanted to check this game out was not just, well, it's a Star Trek game, but I'm also curious about what the post Star Trek Nemesis world is, and you know, between what the Picard series is on TV and this, kind of all we really have to go on. And still, be perfectly honest, I don't really consider a lot of stuff in the game to be canon, so we're just gonna play along with it for now, I guess. But really, besides those two things, and I guess Romulus being destroyed are probably the only things we know about in the post-Nemesis world. Because the events of Romulus being destroyed are still canon within the game, so. And it's kind of interesting, kind of where they went with that. Because the Romulans basically are split into the Empire, Remnants, and the Republic, which are more nice. And then kind of in the middle of that, there's the Remans. So I already kind of understand there's some sort of subplot involving the use of illicit technologies and stuff, mainly Borg and I believe it's Iconian. I really don't remember much about the Iconians from the Next Generation, but apparently they were the ones who made I want to say the Dyson Spheres. I think I'm correct on that. But it was never really elaborated on in the Next Generation from what I recall. We'll probably get into ship combat. Combat's still a big part of this game, and I'm kind of like, eh. But as I played on, there are some more. The game does give you some more diplomatic options, which I'm grateful for, because that feels more like Star Trek to me than just go in and shoot everything or attack right away. Because in my mind, that's not really what Star Trek is about. But then again, it's a game, it has to have some kind of gameplay, and combat is the sort of thing you want in a game, so I understand that. And I guess it would be too difficult for game designers to really focus on making missions that are more in the actual spirit of Star Trek. I guess it would just be too difficult to do. My crew is kind of a default crew. It's somehow ended up with a crew full of women, I guess. I'm not complaining. It just somehow ended up that way. The bridge officers just you kind of get a choice of new bridge officers now and then. It took me a while to kind of figure out the bridge officer system and the difference between the bridge officers and duty officers. Duty officers are just regular old people who are on the ship who don't, you know, like the background actors, the background Starfleet actors on the ship who don't do anything, or the extras. That's what they are. And you can assign them on stuff that's in the this thing here. We got some things completed and collect rewards here. But yeah, the roster just also quite a lot of hologram characters, which I guess are just generic. But that also kind of brings up an interesting idea about a thought that occurred to me when I was watching Voyager. Like, why doesn't Starfleet use more holograms characters? And I guess later on they eventually do, according to the game. Like, wouldn't it be interesting if they could just summon, like, hologram security forces on the ship to, like, tackle invaders? That would actually be pretty useful. I don't know if they ever will institute something like that in Star Trek or not. I don't know. It's just it's a thought I had. Because that way you don't have to risk your real people to get shot by invaders. You can just use the holograms. Okay, so this is the actual mission here. Well, let's do a mission. Because I'm sure a mission will give me plenty of things to talk about here. Loading. Loading. Sometimes the loading is very quick, other times it's very slow. This is one of those cases where it's a little slow, but then it kind of speeds up and there it goes. Here we go. Oh yes, my windows are so big. We'll probably only do like a couple hours of this here. I also want to know I gotta be real careful with this type of game because there's a sort of game you can start playing and then before you know it, 12 hours have passed and you're like, what the hell? Where did my day go? This already happened to me once already this weekend. I started playing in the afternoon and before I knew it, I took like a break for dinner and then I just kept playing and then before I knew it, it was like 3 in the morning. Like, oh my god, okay. I'll probably continue with this game for a while in the background. Until Cyberpunk, then we'll see. Anyway, Captain, I'm not reading any active vessels on scanners. There is, however, a debris field nearby. Clustered around a satellite and over the planet and the planet, blah 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 blah. Sometimes they have voice acting for the characters and sometimes they don't. This is one of those instances where there's not. Alright. We have Hulk. Let this go. So I have yet to, I mean, even though I played almost like 30 hours, I have yet to really figure out all the different mechanics of the game. Like this for instance. You collect materials. I don't know what to do with them yet. I assume it's part of the R&D system, but the R&D system and upgrade system I really haven't figured out yet. It's... needless to say, it's a bit obtuse the way it's explained in game. So, I guess until I really have a need to be messing with that, I'm probably not going to mess with it right now, because so far I've been doing pretty well with just finding stuff and getting rewards for missions and stuff. So I've been getting by on just that, so can't complain. But I guess once you get, I would assume once you get to like the super high levels in the game, you're going to need to really start focusing on the R&D and upgrade stuff. But so far, I can't really figure it out, right? I don't really understand it right now, so I'm just going to ignore it. So, I'm trying to remember where I left off in the story here. Obelisk is the Riemann leader dude. We just saw him the last mission before this here, or I did. And we are going, I forget who we're going after, the Tal Shiar people, I think.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Oh, well, we are under attack already? Okay, so we're in a tractor beam sort of thing. Environment beam. So we're gonna beam over. Away team! The away team to the rescue. Okay, let's do a little bit of investigating here. Alright, so this is the ground combat stuff here. It's clunky. Come on. Now we get to press buttons and hope something works here. Also, you can collect materials on the ground too. I'm probably not going to spend too much time on that. This is materials right here. It's the same thing as what I just did in space. Okay. Solve the equations. We have some puzzles. Oh. So there are a few puzzles in the game. You do get now and then. Also, I know there are triple sounds in the background. There was one mission ended up with a whole bunch of triples. I don't remember which one it was. And they just kind of filled up my inventory. I didn't know what to do with them, so I just kind of stuck them on my characters. So now my characters make triple noises. Haha. It's not a big deal, I don't care. It distracts me from the monotony sometimes. Alright, what do we got going on here? Some maps. We have some maps going on here. First one is 7. So it's about to be this one, right? And oh, I can cycle this around. Okay. Oh, okay, okay, I see what I'm supposed to do here. There we go. This one needs to be 7. No. Wait. That has to be 7. Right? Okay, it's just taking me a moment to understand this here. Okay. Oh, subtraction, sorry. 7, 5. 5 minus 9. To negative 4. Or 45 minus 29, that's gonna be... Hold on, I can do math in my head, I swear. It'd be 4. Oh, it's not? Well, it must be 5 then. There we go. Alright, 59 by 49. Still a trick I learned years ago on how to multiply large numbers here. You can break them apart and do like the 9 by 9, which is going to be 81, and then do the 50 by 40, which is going to be 200 or 2000, something like that. So it has been a very long time. It'll be 2891. Okay, this last one here. Alright, yep, that one I'm definitely doing on a calculator. 26.1. 39. Oh, there's even more. Okay. Alright, well, I'm not doing that in my head. Yes, this is what everybody comes to look at the Star Trek stream is math. Let's do math. So exciting. 4632. Oh, 3, sorry. There we go. And 9986. Divided by 43. Nobody better start about the stupid PEMDAS ship. I mean 175. Oh. More? Boldly go, a new mathematician has gone before. Done. This mini-map's too small, I can't see where I'm going. Alright, I need to go over here. Dodge roll! Yes, my ship I named the Viceroy. I think it was an appropriate name for a Galaxy class ship. Let the lyric ship up there. We're not designating my ship as a target. But maybe that should release the ship. Okay, so we're not done yet. See, this sort of thing feels more like a Star Trek episode. I guess I can understand it's probably not the most exciting thing to stream, but you know, this is what typically the away team would be doing. They would be investigating and solving puzzles and stuff instead of just shoot. Probably have too many people on my away team for this though. Probably too many people. Some of these cast members can go back to the ship. They don't all have to be here. But that also brings me to another thing. It's like, the captain of the ship is typically not sent on away missions, along with the first officer. There's usually one more. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about bugs in the game. There was a bug right there. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm running into something here. I don't know what it is. Whatever. There are quite a lot of bugs in this game. I know I mentioned back in when I was first talking about this before, how it feels like a 15-year-old game. Well, that's actually pretty accurate, actually, because the game came out a little over 10 years ago. And you have to assume it probably was in development a few years before that, so yeah, it is pretty much a 15-year-old game. Let's just turn it off. Cannot turn it off. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, there's another console there. We will figure this out. Current power level is too high. Well, all right, let's try something else. Power saving mode. I'll put it on economical mode. Let's not restore to factory defaults. Well, once again, I run into the same thing. Invisible glitch. How can you turn off? No, you still can't turn off. Ugh, okay. Maybe I do have to reset the defaults. But I would think the default would be the normal process value. Or, okay. I guess that worked. I wish there was a way I could turn off these little messages that popping up telling me people getting tier 6 ships. Like, I don't care. I don't care about that game. You don't have to display that message. One of the things I typically hate about MMOs. I don't need to know what everybody else is doing. Okay? Now can we turn it off? Yeah, it's off now. Alright, we're done here. See? We had our typical puzzle mission. Oh, this is not my ship. What the hell? Where am I? I'm in a box. Now what?
If you fail to comply with commands,
Now we fight,
you will be
or
punished.
we'll die. Make sure you pick up a melee weapon. All of your gear is deactivated, and I won't protect you in there.
Okay.
I've never seen those weapons used before by anyone in the arena. I think the mercenaries who act as the occasional guard, thought that those weapons might actually be worth something, unlike the beat-up ones they let us use. My best guess is
Yeah,
that
turn
they're
my
looking to
turn my
sell
heater
them at
down.
some point when their
Very
contract
cold
heats
day.
up for some extra money.
Alright, did you get that? We have to fight with melee weapons. Which I really haven't done the game so far. So this will be a little bit new. More materials I don't know what to do with, yay. We have a bat lift. Should probably equip it. Oh, it's a good time to look at the inventory screen. So you have your inventory, you have your character. The characters and the ship are in the same menu. I kinda wish the this is something I would do as a game designer, just saying, but separate the character inventory from the ship inventory. Those need to be like separate inventories in my opinion. You know, just like back in like Xenogears, you don't have the gear inventory mixed in with the character inventory. It wouldn't make any sense. You know? Those are on separate inventory menus. They should have done that here. Just saying. Because I got ship stuff mixed in with my character stuff, and I know it would have been like one more menu, but it would have had better organization that way. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, I guess we will put the bat lift. We hope you're good on your Klingon combat skills. By the way, this is where we can equip the ships here. I do mention that you get like new ships with every like 10 levels in the game, which is pretty nice. You get a pretty okay selection. I really haven't talked about the ships too much because we haven't really done too much right now. But there's 3 basic classes of ships in the game. There's cruisers, escorts, and science vessels. Bigger ships like the Galaxy class are obviously a cruiser. And escorts are like the Defiant. Basically, they're small, fast, and have a lot of weapons. Science vessels are more like the Voyager. More like that. They're more geared towards sensors, and apparently they're supposed to be for debuffing. I haven't really played around with the science vessels yet. This first character I'm playing at was my, basically whatever character, my test character basically, has been an engineer and I've been using cruisers basically. They work out pretty well. You use them like giant battleships is basically how you use them. My other character, Meryl, the original series character, is using escorts. It's the smaller ships, but I haven't played too much with yet. But I'll probably go back to playing her at some point just so I can kind of see what that's like. I do want to do a science vessel, science character, just to kind of see what that's like, and I might do that as a Romulan, I think. I hear a lot of people say the Romulan storyline is actually pretty good, even though I've already been playing with the Romulans mostly so far. You also get a shuttlecraft. Yeah, a couple of free shuttlecraft. I got the Type B. I do want to make mention of one thing. I have enjoyed starting to warm up to the game, enjoying it, but there is one mission so far in the game that I hate so far, and that is the one where I'm forced to use the shuttlecraft, and that is the vault. I'm sure people who play the game know what I'm talking about. I like the first half of that mission, but the second half where you have to start fighting enemies inside the giant vault area with the shuttlecraft, that fucking sucks. That part of the game needs to be changed. I swear to God, it needs to be changed. Because fighting in a shuttlecraft is horrible. It is horrible. Anyway, I just need to say that. Anyway, let's continue on here. Pushing my battleship. Battleship. Passing the special commands. Battleship slash and 2 slashes. Cross strike, okay. Also, it took me a while. I actually had to look this up, and thankfully somebody mentioned this when I was looking for tips about the game. You can set auto attack options for character and for ship combat, which is so super helpful. What are these weapons over there?
I've never seen those weapons.
Wait, am I talking to the same guy? Who am I talking to? Game, you're being weird. I don't see anybody here. Who am I talking to? Okay, whatever. Let's move on. Was I talking to you? Oh, there's more stuff. Oh, we can have a...
to equip your new weapon.
We can choose a sword. Or a sword. Well, I want to see what those are like. Falchion. Vulcan Lurpo is like an axe. Axe, basically. You know what? Let's stick with the battleship. Battleship is pretty good. You know, I'm sure my character doesn't know how to use one. We will... Like, I can just grab an extra one. They're all warm. What's the one I have on? Is it warm? Oh, the one I have is better anyway, so never mind. Never mind, we're gonna stick with the good. Stick with the good battleship. Not the dull one.
Commencing test 1. Nopadin Desert Akari entering testing area.
We're after for spiders. Spiders. Now I get to see. Get to see how amazing the combat is. Fight.
Commencing test 2. Releasing warrigals now.
Notice how my weapon just kind of disappeared. That happens a lot, I've noticed. Dude, weapon. It is still equipped on me. Just want to make sure. There we go. Come on, Oscar.
Proceeding to test 3.
Again, get your weapon out.
Enemy targets on sensors.
Let's try some different tactics here.
Prisoner 1478, remain in the area for interrogation. Prisoner, return to holding area. Failure to comply will result in punishment.
Go. Okay, I'm going. Go back to your cell, prisoner. But you can keep your weapon. Go back to the box like a good dog. Alright, so. It's like one of the many Battle Arena episodes. I know they had a couple back in the original series, and I think there was one in Next Generation also.
What do you want? My name is Slamek. I am part of a resistance. Perhaps you have heard of it? About a week ago, I was part of a crew ferrying weapons from one base to another. When we passed through this system, a satellite disabled our ship. It drifted into the planet's atmosphere. I activated the emergency transporter, and a few of us were able to transport to safety before the ship crashed in the desert. We were looking for shelter and a way to contact our people when a group of soldiers found us. They took us here and kept throwing us into the arena. Now I'm the only one remaining. That is all I know. We were transporting a shipment of Thaleron weapons. I know that your people will not use them. We do not want to, but our fight is getting desperate. We needed to do. I don't know who was responsible.
Oh, yes, we're in. I think that's what we were doing. We were trying to track down the Thaleron weapons.
Without any clue about what's going on. They're paid to keep us in cages and look the other way. The night I was brought in, I was interrogated. They were bright. I have no idea what they want with us, or why they make us fight. This all seems like some sort of giant game, but there is no one in the stands to be entertained. I've had several partners in my battles. You are the only one about which I've been questioned. You must have impressed our masters. I think there are others. I hear other fights. If there are other prisoners, I have never been able to contact them. I do not wish to continue talking with you.
Oh, come on, we're just starting to get friendly here.
Now I recall. You were working on all those errands when we were attacked. I managed to escape on the shuttle, and some of us signed on with the freighter. As you can see, things didn't work out so well after that. We were transporting a shipment of Thaleron weapons. I know that your people will not use them. We do not want to, but our fight is getting desperate. We needed to do something, anything, that would shift the tide of war. Even if that choice was horrific. I don't know who was responsible for this place. The trainers and the guards all appear to be mercenaries. No. I have been questioned by these people several times before. My reluctance to answer their questions earned me the
I'm just
shock.
going through these options real quick. I'm not gonna
Refusal to help them
let
now
them
is
talk through everything.
quite painful. Interestingly enough, this was the first time I've been questioned about another participant in the arena.
Like, I do get some dialogue
They asked
options
how you treated
in the
me,
game, which are nice
and
to
if you
have.
said anything
Like,
about why you were here.
you can be diplomatic or you can kind of be a dick.
I thought we could become friends.
I don't think it's appropriate for the Federation guy to be a
Someone
dick.
thinks you
Maybe that would be
are
more
very
appropriate if you were a Klingon. If there's a Klingon character you can play as.
I have no idea
As long
what
as
they want with
well
us,
as
or why they make us fight. This all
Dominion,
seems like
which
some
you play
sort of
Jim
giant
Hadar.
game, but there is no one in the stands to be
Don't really know how that would work out. Wait a minute, what else was there? There's Federation, Klingon, Romulan, Dominion, original series. I think there's a Star Trek Discovery option too now. I may take a look at that at some point later on. Anyway.
I think there are others. I hear other fights. If there are other prisoners, I have never been able to contact them. We are kept separated and caged. The trainers carry key cards. That's the only way I know to get through the defenses. Can I trust you?
Keycard? Yeah, you can go with it.
I can see that we think the same way, friend. A few years ago, I worked as a bodyguard for a Ferengi merchant. He had a talent for acquiring latinum. And during...
Alright, sounds like a plan. And now we wait.
If you fail to comply with commands, you will be punished.
Let's do some more fighting. See if I can minimize some of these things. We'll minimize that. Give it a little bit more screen space. Worms.
Activated. A Hala released.
We need more help! I'll try to free the other prisoners. You fight the worms!
Enemy targets on sensors.
You. What's this? Regenerative spores.
Enemy targets on sensors.
Enemy target on my sensors. My eye sensors. I knew there was a big
Use
one.
the consoles on the sides of the arena to fight the Elder Worm!
The Elder Worm. Oh wait, I have to. Oh, I have to fight now. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world.
Just like last time. Use the remaining console on the side of the arena to fight the Elder Worm. There's another set of consoles by the metal wall. Use them. I've been hit. I can't continue, my friend. You'll need to protect me.
Oh, what? I don't know, dude. You could try running. That's okay. This is not good. Run, please. What is this?
Enemy combatants in close proximity.
What am I going for? Oh, over there. Oh, goodness. Can you revive me? I guess not. Okay. Sometimes this game is not really clear about where I'm supposed to go. That was one of those situations. Come on.
Enemy combatants in close proximity.
Okay, can we just like not be in here? Let them fight. Islamic is like dead. Okay, we need to go back to the other side. According to the game,
Targets on sensors. Enemy targets on sensors. Enemy targets on sensors.
do. And it's so helpful that the people who set up the arena left the control consoles or the turrets inside the console, inside the arena.
That's our way out!
Because that makes sense. Why am I attacking randomly? Dude, what are you doing? Stop. Stop. Put the weapon away.
Romulan base? Here? What did they want with us? And what is that device?
Let's press some buttons. Oh, they have another Iconian gateway here. It's a Stargate. Yes, we're just testing all different species of the galaxy and see who is the most powerful. So apparently it's like strongly implied that these Romulan defectors are collaborating with the Iconians or something. I don't quite know yet. I think maybe that's it. Oh, that's cool. I'm under the water. Had to jump up to get to it.
Watch out. There are Romulan Scorpion fighters overhead. They're looking for us. We need to move quickly and smartly to avoid detection. I recommend we head to the east. See that mountain in the distance? My ship crashed on the other side.
Alright. Also, reduce little health bar bouncing all over the place. Can I use my regular weapons now? I think I can. We'll quit using the battleship.
There's a fighter heading straight for us. Quick, take cover in those dark rocks over there.
No, I
Wait
want
for
to
the
scan.
gas overhead.
I must scan the gas. I must scan the swamp gas.
Stay still and wait for that fighter to pass overhead. If we are fortunate, they won't detect us. They didn't see us. Let's move on. I can't go on. My injuries from the arena are too painful. We need to find a place to rest for a moment.
Yeah, you're fine. Walk it off. Give it a little bit of hypo spray and you'll be as good as new. The hell was that? What is this?
Forgive me, my friend, but the pain... I need to rest, just for a moment. My wounds are agonizing. I feel... Before we were captured, my science officer said that the local plants here have medicinal qualities. Please, I need your help. Find something.
Alright, well we just found something. Also, I have noticed there are some occasional audio pops in the background. Now, as far as I'm aware, that is the game doing that. That's not anything else on my end. Apparently, that's a common problem in the game, from what I've researched. So, yeah, if you're hearing those little pops in the background, that's the game. That is a bug in the game. So I'm definitely hearing them right now because I have my headphones on. Not the most pleasant thing. Plant gathering. Okay. Let us go heal our friend. Or not. do want to say a lot of the space vistas they have in the game are actually pretty interesting to look at, though unrealistic. Just saying. You wouldn't have a moon that close to the planet. Just no. In fact, there's been several instances of celestial bodies being unrealistically close to each other. I know, there's some minor nitpick, I know. Just whatever. Also flickering. Did I mention this game is a little buggy? I'm gonna mention it again, just so you know. It hasn't crashed on me, but there have been lots of graphical glitches. And also a few instances where I've noticed, probably the more annoying bug I've run into is my skills and sometimes equipment being unequipped or rearranged on me. Like, I've had this happen several times in my actual command bar down here. Both in character and on starship mode. It gets annoying because I go into battle, like, use my special commands, and my special commands are rearranged on my toolbar. I'm like, wait, what? Or sometimes they're just missing. That's always fun. That's a fun glitch to deal with.
Thank you, my friend. I'm feeling better now. I think I can continue.
On your feet, soldier. Like, I kind of want to get through this mission so I can get back to my ship. But there's some other stuff on the ships that I kind of want to show and talk about.
Now that we're in the canyon, we shouldn't have to worry about the fighters anymore. Just the local wildlife. Keep your eyes open.
You know about more spiders? How about a turret? Yay, phasers for the win. I like my little engineer dude because he can set up turrets and he actually has a little drone you can summon as well. It's actually pretty handy on the away missions. I think, yeah, he's still using the battleship. If the game was more of an action RPG, I think the close range physical attacks would be probably more fun, but since the game doesn't really work that way, I'm not going to bother with melee weapons. It's just easier to shoot, since shooting is done automatically for the most part. It's always funny when I try and experimentally stream something. And it's like right away you end up in probably the most drawn out, dull set of events for my stream. Somehow that always keeps happening. Alright, looks like we're here.
The weather isn't going to hold out for too much longer. We should look for a place to spend the night. I've noticed that there are things we can gather along the way to make our night more pleasant.
Like gas? I saw some gas way back.
The search patrols are moving on. We will not survive a night in this desert. We need to find shelter and safety. I don't know about you, but it has been many hours since I last ate. Our captors gave us just enough food to keep us alive. But I can hear a pack of wild war eagles. I have killed hundreds of war eagles in the tests. I wonder what they taste like. I expect the war eagles will probably lair some...
They probably taste very stringy. Looks like something up ahead. That is... I don't know what that is.
The search patrols are moving on. I don't know about...
Where am I going? I'm going up and around, okay. Let me just get up here. This is closer, let's go around.
This looks like prime war eagle territory. A pack could easily hide in those craggy hills to the north and come down for water when they aren't hunting.
I'm trying to go up the mountain. Not supposed to go that way. Now come out, war ghouls. Come out, come out. I have a very hungry Reman who wants to eat you. Okay. What am I doing in here?
The search patrols are moving on. I don't know about...
Okay, fine, we'll go to the other objective. Just this way, there's water. The game mode environments are okay. They're not a whole lot of effort was put into these things, I can tell. As you can tell with the terrain, it's kind of Sometimes it's really unclear where you're supposed to go. But that happens quite a lot. Let's see. Carve the non-existent beat.
That should last us through the night. Let's get into this cave before the temperature drops anymore.
The meat. We have the meat. Cooked, well done by Phaser.
The temperature is dropping rapidly now. This cave should protect us from the elements. I've done some exploring. It looks like this cave continues when the sun rises side of the mountain. We can save time and energy by using the passage instead of trying to find a path over the mountain. Excellent. The passage saved us hours. This could be a good day.
You notice how the game cutscenes sometimes skip ahead before the character is like finished talking.
Far from here.
So to get cut off,
I think I can
they kind of cut
smoke
themselves
the
off.
wreckage on the horizon.
Okay, now what? Need to go this way. Mr. Slamek's ship.
There she is. She wasn't much to look at, but
Your ship is kind of looks like shit.
when we were flying through space, we were free. Perhaps she can help us one last time.
We need to find a way to contact my ship, and then we can beam us out of here. Because this planet sucks.
We should check to see if the emergency beacon survived the crash. But in the likely event it didn't, we might be able to piece together some components to create a makeshift emergency beacon. You know, I was thinking about where I should mention this or not. Cause you know, when you pick those like 3 classes, you can pick like an engineer, tactical, or science person, geared person to start with. And of course, in the Federation, they assign you the uniform colors. Engineering and security get yellow. Command and tactical are red, and science and medical are blue. So you get those colors assigned you automatically on your uniforms, depending on which character you're in. But I find it funny that when your character gets automatically promoted to command, you don't automatically get a red command uniform with it. You're still stuck using the blue or the yellow, which I find kind of weird, because I've never known any commanding officer of a starship or a captain or commander to be wearing the yellow or blue. Talking about in the modern Star Trekker, not the classic Star Trekker, by the way. I just find that kind of weird that your character doesn't automatically get the command uniform when they get promoted. I had to do it manually with my
engineer-focused character here, just so that it looks appropriate to me. It got distracting when he had the yellow on all the time. Anyway, that was just something else that kind of occurred to me. I was just playing here. And you can change the uniforms too. I have them in the sort of like the Nemesis era Star Trek uniform of the Next Generation movies. They have the updated Odyssey uniform. It's okay, but I get tired of looking at it after a while. That's why I changed the uniform up. I might switch them to the more classic Deep Space Nine Voyager uniform later on. I might do that later. I just get tired of looking at the same outfit. I know I shouldn't complain about it because I know in Star Trek they all wear the same outfit all the time, pretty much. But you know, it's my game. I can do what I want. I like having options. Wait for rescue. Okay. Come on, ship. Oh. You're not my ship.
Did you think you could run from me? There is no place where I cannot find you. My spies are everywhere. Prisoner 1478, take your place. You did your job admirably. It is good to know at least one Riemann understands who is the master
you traitor.
and who is the slave. The loss of the listening post was a minor setback. The Riemann's refuge in the Dera system has been destroyed. Dozens of subjects have been tested in my arena. When the Iconians return, they will find I have done all they have asked, and more. But you will not be there on that dreaded day. This tiresome game ends now. You could have been such a fascinating test subject, but this time, no. This time I think a more direct approach is best. Ready? Aim.
Beam out. Oh yeah, this is something else. They are reusing a lot of tropes from certain episodes and films. Like that was straight from Star Trek 6. The part where Kirk gets beamed out the last minute on Repente.
Actions caused harm to you or your crew. Forgive me. That was not my intent. However, your trip to the Nopata system was not in vain. Now you see. Now you know. Hakiv is a pawn of a greater power. The demons of air and darkness are here. You should report to your superiors. Tell them what you have seen here. Open their eyes to the dangers that lurk in the shadows.
Congratulations, Captain.
Congratulations, Captain.
Starfleet Intelligence has completed its analysis of the data you recovered in the Nopata system. There is a 67.47% chance that the Iconians are using the Tal Shiar as a way to influence the Romulan Star Empire, and that their persecution of the Riemans is directly related to this. Command is considering lending assistance to Obasek and his forces, but before we come into direct conflict with the Romulans, we want to try a more discreet approach. The data indicates that Hakiv is operating out of the Brea system. Long-range sensor scans indicate that there may be a major Tal Shiar installation there. We want you to infiltrate this system, apprehend Hakiv, and destroy the Tal Shiar's base. I have new missions for you. Hakiv had a working Iconian gateway? Fascinating. We already knew that the Iconians survived the destruction of their home world. Now we know that they are active in Romulan space, and apparently using these gladiatorial combats as a way to test the species. I have new missions for you.
Okay. So finally, I'm back to my wonderful, beautiful ship, which I really haven't used too much so far. Do some upgrades. Get skill upgrades, kind of like in a lot of other RPG games. I'm just trying to make my ship as tanky as possible, which is probably a good thing to go for a cruiser. Anyway. Okay, so let's get into like some ship stuff here real quick here. Wonderful ship here. So we are on basically the galactic map right now. And this is where we do warp drive travel. Whee! Then you go into local space, which is like the planetary orbit, close range stuff, and that's where combat takes place. But let us, before we can, I'm not going to do the next mission. Let's head back towards the main starbase here. Automatically plot a course, and we'll start warping back there. There is the teleport option. You can teleport back there. You can't teleport anywhere else. You have to manually warp drive travel to other places, but you can fast travel back there. But while we're doing that, we can take a look at a few other things here while we are traveling here. We can look at the interior of the ship, which unfortunately is a little bit limited. I kind of wish there was a little bit more to the ship interior. You can go around and take a look in the ship. This is not quite the Galaxy class bridge, but it's probably close enough. It is nice to have. The only problem I kind of have with this is that with the ship interiors, they're way too damn big. Like, look at all this wasted space right here. It's like they took the general design of the Starship bridges and they like just zoomed it way out or something, or enlarged it. Yeah, enlarged is a word. They unnecessarily enlarged it. I don't know why they did this. I think it looks kind of silly, in my opinion. Oh, so here's our front view screen. They didn't really... A very minimal effort view screen. I'll be honest, it looks terrible. It does. Captain's room is over here. It's not bad. It's still kind of big, but this is a little more appropriate, I guess. I did like it when I played the original series character. The bridge of the original series Enterprise bridge was actually closer to a more accurate scale like it should be. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's a little bigger so you can move around. But it wasn't like gargantuanly huge like this is. This feels like a... I feel like I'm inside like a football stadium. Like the bridge of the ship should not be this big. It's very silly. You can explore other parts of the ship, and there's not a whole lot to it. You'll see. Also, my crew members they beam him. I don't know why. Also, I can see the same problem here. The corridors are huge. Don't know why they have to be this huge. This is our generic engineering room. It's okay. Except for the fact that, again, like everything else, it's huge. I don't know why it's huge. It needs to be like half the size of what it is. Otherwise, it doesn't feel like I'm on a Federation starship anymore. It feels like... I feel like I'm on like a planetary facility. Crew deck. The same thing on crew deck. It's like regular hallways, except, again, huge. There is sort of a lounge area, which is pretty nice. Let me see if you can find it here. It's It's over here. This is our ship's lounge. Again, absolutely ginormous. Unnecessarily ginormous. Like, I really do think the interiors could have been scaled back on their size. Oh, this brings me to a perfect example of how weird this is, too, by the way. There's a mission where you use a bird of prey, a Klingon bird of prey for a little while. And before you get it, you have to infiltrate and take over the ship. Well, guess what? If you know, a bird of prey is a pretty small ship. It's a very small escort ship. Probably only a little bit, maybe twice the size of our runabout, I want to say. You're going to take it over, and guess what? The interior is absolutely massive, with multiple decks and everything. Like, no, oh my god, there's not much. And then later on that mission, you have to take the bird of prey and land it on a planet. You get to walk around outside the bird of prey. And the bird of prey, when you're walking outside, is actually more appropriate to what its actual scale should be. Except, recalling the interiors of the ship, the interior is like 3 times as big as the actual bird of prey is. I'm like, come on. This is not... To quote Doctor Who, it is bigger on the inside than it appears on the outside. But that's in Doctor Who. This is not Doctor Who, this is Star Trek. Star Trek is supposed to have some semblance of grounding in its technology and stuff. But again, that's just the game. The game is doing that, I know. Again, sort of a little bit of a nitpick. Just saying. I'm just saying the hallways don't have to be this big. Anyway, let's get off the interior and head back to the starbase. I want to show you some of the stuff that's there. Let's see, we are still on our way. We'll probably fast travel there in a moment, but as you can see, there are a bunch of optional missions. Thankfully, you can do. You go into other systems and stuff. You can do like patrol missions or special ground missions and other stuff. So you don't have to. You're not limited to just the storyline missions. You can travel around and just do other stuff at other systems and stuff. And so that's pretty nice. You have that option. You do have to explore though to find that stuff. So it kind of makes you feel like a space explorer though. So I kind of like that aspect of the game. Fleet operations. This is more of the PvE sort of stuff of the game. I've only tried it a couple of times. It's okay. Usually I get teamed up with like high-level players with super powerful ships and everything. So they just obliterate everything while I'm just poking along, trying to phaser a few things, and it's like, okay, okay, whatever. Not too much of a complaint, but it's just like, okay, whatever. There is the store. This is this thing, which I'm not going to really bother with. Zen is like the premium currency stuff, and there's also dilithium stuff too, which is also a premium currency. You can earn dilithium in the game. It's kind of rare, but you can use it to buy some stuff in ships later on if you want to. I read up that the general recommendation is to kind of not use your resources and buy anything until you're like late in the game. There's not really much point to it while you're doing the story missions because you're always going to get rewarded good equipment anyway, and so far that's been true. So I really haven't had to actually buy anything yet. It's good. As you start getting closer to the starbase, you start to see more players and their ships pop in. Most people hang around the home starbase. It's kind of expected. And there's also, well, there's the home starbase and Deep Space Nine. I only looked at Deep Space Nine for a little bit. I may try and go over there here, take a look. Yeah, we're not gonna look at that anyway. Let's go in, so you can see all the wonderful ships. Yeah, I do want to take a look at the ships. So yeah, there's a lot of people here. I'm gonna take a look at the other ships that I have so far, and the other ships you can get. It's the space dock area, by the way. I think the space dock is... it's big, but I think this feels appropriate for what it is. So I'm not going to complain about this being huge, because it actually kind of makes sense that this would be big, both from the gameplay and in a technical realism perspective. It makes sense. So, okay, so here's the ships that I have. The starter ship is the Miranda class here. I mean the Dynamis, whatever. I just threw a name out of a hat and gave it. It's an okay starter ship, but you kind of outgrow it pretty fast. Next ship I got is a classic Constitution refit, or Enterprise class, what some people refer to as. The other choices really weren't that good looking, so I went with this. You can make some cosmetic changes to the ships, which is nice. So the only real change I made to this was I gave the I replaced the blue with a light green and gave it the engines that glow on both ends. So basically pretend that it's kind of it's still using current Federation technology instead of technology from 100 years ago or so by this point in the game. So this is the next ship you get after Miranda. The other ship you get is the next level, and got this one, my Zephyrantes. Now this one I customized a bit. This is sort of the quad warp engine cruiser, based off of the Cheyenne class. But I switched the engines around and some of the pylon supports to make it look a little more aesthetically pleasing. I think this one kind of works. This one works. I only got to use it for a little while in the game before I got the Galaxy class, which I'm using now, and the two freebie shuttles I got. Never really used this one, but I did have to use this one for that unfortunate mission, which I shall not talk about anymore. Anyway, let's talk about the other ships that are in the game here. This is our ship purchasing here. Let's just look at everything here. So we got our Romulan choices here. Light cruisers, the Miranda, Centaur. I probably could have used the Centaur. I mean, well, you start off with the Miranda, but you can change the... okay, I need to explain this here. Back up a step here. This is a light cruiser class of ship, and they all function and operate the same. But you can choose basically the skin of this class of ship. The Centaur acts the same as a Miranda. By the numbers and stats, they're the same ship. You're just choosing the appearance, basically. And I guess after you first get the starbase, you probably could change it to look like a Centaur ship, which would probably be a little bit more appropriate in the late 24th, early 25th century Starfleet. Because the Miranda class, I know a few would still use them, but dear God, by the time of this game, they're like practical antiques. Why would anybody use those anymore? Just saying. So you get your optional for in-game ones that are specific to the game, and yeah. Well, Saratoga is a canon one. This doesn't look too bad. This Reliant class one doesn't look too bad. Basically, looks like an appropriate modernization of the Miranda class. This one, the Shikar, is garbage. This is aesthetically a piece of garbage. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. This looks like a mess. That is a mess. The Romulan ships I don't really have too much opinion on. You have the classic Romulan warbird. Cruisers. You can't beat the original Constitution class refit. This is a beautiful ship design. You can't beat this. You cannot beat this. But then somehow they try and ruin it in game by using different skins for it, and this is just kind of No. Egatur's not too bad looking. This is not too bad. And Jeffries. The Jeffries I find interesting. Because believe it or not, this is actually a prototype design, I believe. Based on sketches for Star Trek Phase 2, I think. But I think they did do some reinterpretation of it, so that it looks like a cross between the classic Constitution class and the refit. So it's kind of half and half. See, this is something I kind of wish the original series start kind of kept going for a while, because I would like to have had my character upgrade to using this ship as a cruiser in the original series setting instead. So that again, part of the reason why I'm kind of disappointed that the original series stuff kind of ended so abruptly, because I would have liked to have used this for a while. I think this is a pretty nice looking ship design here. And the original series Constitution ship you can use for some reason if you want. Escort ship to Saber class, and these other designs are kind of yeah, they're not really doing it for me. Their basic science vessel Nova class, which is it's an okay looking ship. It's supposed to be a scaled down version of the Intrepid class. But as you can see, these are all different skins. They just use the same configuration with different arrangements. This is very similar to the Nova class. This is not bad. It's not bad. This is the big warbirds. I think these warbirds showed up in Nemesis, Star Trek Nemesis, I think. It's been a long time since I've seen Nemesis, but I do think there are warbirds like that show up in the film. Here's the Cheyenne class. It's not bad, it just looks kind of goofy. I always thought it did. The alternatives for Dakota class. I think, yeah, okay, I think I used the base Dakota class for my ship. I just changed out the pylon thing on the rear because this loopy thing on the back is weird. I don't like that. So I had to change it out and get rid of that. Stargazer is kind of eh. You can use Constellation class. The big chunky. The big chunk. The big saucer chunk. It's okay. I could have used this, but it felt a little out of place for the 25th century Starfleet. Then you can upgrade. By the way, these are like the tier 3 upgrades of free ships you can have. Your Hero class, the Hero class is pretty nice. I've always liked this design. And the alternatives are just reskins and not as pretty as the original. Now they say this is Diaper class, but I thought this was the Steam Runner class. But I could be mistaken. I thought the Steam Runner looked like this, or had a very similar configuration. But I don't think I've actually seen the Steam Runner in-game. This one's not too bad. Like I said, not all of these are ugly. Some of them actually are okay looking like this. Okay, but this one's pretty bad. This one's okay. This one's okay. I just don't really care for the warp engines on this thing. I'd probably switch them out for something else. Here's the Olympic class. This Olympic class is not the same as the one that appears in the actual Star Trek series in Deep Space Nine and on The Next Generation. This is sort of a modified version of the Olympic class, and I'm not sure why they did that for the game. Because as far as I can tell, the original Olympic class is not actually in the game. This is sort of a modified version of the Olympic class. Because the original version didn't have this deflector dish on the front. And the secondary hull was different on it, as well as the engines were different. So I'm not sure where they're going with this here. DJX Classic Next Generation Warbird. These things can actually be pretty powerful in the game, I've noticed. So even in the 25th century, these are still pretty powerful ships. Well, according to the game, they are. According to the game. This is supposed to be the more modernized interpretation, which is not quite as nice looking. And just saying. Galaxy class, beautiful ship, I already talked about that. Andromeda class is actually pretty aesthetically okay, in my opinion. I wish I could have gotten this as my freebie ship, because I probably would have used this and just modified it a little bit to make it look better. But unfortunately they won't let you use this as a free ship. I guess it's part of a premium player pack or something like that. Celestial class is kind of goofy looking. These warp engines are just, they look like lipstick. They look like little lipstick things, but they are. Envoy class is just ugly. I'm like, why bother with that? So again, Galaxy class, you cannot go wrong with this. Very, very nice. Defiant, pretty good. No complaints about that. These other variations are just kind of weird. They're not particularly doing anything for me. The Intrepid, pretty good looking ship, not gonna deny. Puck Green is kinda eh. The Bellerophon's pretty good. I think the Bellerophon looks pretty good. I'm not gonna deny. But again, they won't let you use this as a free ship. Because reasons in the game. They want you to pay money for that. The actual good, unique ship design they don't want to let you have. Now when I rank up my character to Admiral, I had the choice of using the Sovereign class, which I might do. It's a pretty nice looking ship. Archon. Again, I don't like the warp engines on this thing. They look kind of goofy to me. Majestic. Majestic is not too bad, except for the pylons. They're kind of I don't like the pylons. The secondary hull is pretty small on this too. It seems a little unbalanced, aesthetic-wise. Noble is just an uglified version of the Sovereign class. I'm not even skip that. Vizier. The Vizier is basically a recolor of the Sovereign class. It looks pretty nice. I like this. Again, they probably will not let me use this as a free ship, but you might be able to change the skin on the ship to match this, I think. So, well, actually, no. Maybe not. I don't know. I know when I got the Galaxy class, I had the option of changing to the skin of the that other ship. What is it? The Andromeda. But the game won't actually let you do that. This sucks, I know. Prometheus, pretty nice. No complaints about that. Again, it's just sort of like these are all just reskins. I'm just kind of looking through these real quick here, because when I was a teenager and I was into Star Trek, I was very much into the ships. I used to do the Star Trek, build and paint Star Trek model kits when I was in my teenage years, so I got to be very familiar with the ships and the design aesthetics surrounding them. Oh, this is the Luna class, by the way. Now, this is supposed to be an actual canon ship. This is what the Titan is based on, which is supposed to be Captain Riker's ship by the time up to late 24th, early 25th century, I want to say. I know he shows up to command something in the Star Trek Picard series, but I don't remember what it is. I don't think it's the Titan in there, but yeah, the Luna class is okay looking. I like this. Good. And of course, the variants are not quite as nice looking. This one's okay. It's just okay. Star Cruiser. This is like supposed to be like the really biggest, one of the biggest ships in the game. At least for the Federation, I think. As far as I know, I don't think this is actually anything that shows up in any of the film or media, as far as I'm aware. I think this may be unique to the game, but I'm not positive on that. There's variants, which are all kind of... I generally feel about the same about all of those. Patrol Escort. These are all ugly. Just saying. Just my opinion. Kind of a big pass on those. Deep Space again. I think these are supposed to be based on the Oberth class, I think. Using that sort of configuration, but let's be honest, the Oberth was never a very good chip configuration to begin with. Oh, this is a modernized version of the Romulan Warbird here. The old Warbird. I don't think I have Klingon ships in here. I'm gonna runabout. I have read that it is better for the shuttle missions to have a runabout or the Delta Flyer. The only problem is you have to buy those. Captain's Yacht. This is for the Sovereign class ship, though. Because this one's specifically for the Sovereign class ship. There's a Delta Flyer. However, not that well. It's 500. Yellowstone runabout. Attack fighter. Some other stuff in here. Just kind of look at these stuff real quick here. Fleet carrier. Probably have to mess around there. Are these fleet carriers? I thought these were the deep spaceships. Oh, okay, whatever. Retrofit Cheyenne. There's some retrofit ships. I think it's just they have added stats. They're not really anything physically different on these, from what I'm aware of. There's our Nebula class. It has a few different configurations, which is nice to have. Not that. Standard Nebula. Well, Zepplin's not too bad looking. You have the Phoenix configuration, or the Farragut configuration. And we should have the Dreadnought Enterprise in here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. Oh, here's the Odyssey class, by the way. This is supposed to be what the Enterprise F is. It's not bad looking. It's a little weird, but it's not bad. I think I still like the the Sovereign class and the Galaxy class better than this. This, again, just my opinion here. This is a fleet carrier, which is very strange. Ambassador class. I wish I could have gotten an Ambassador class for the tier 3 ship instead of the Cheyenne. I think this would have been more appropriate. Either that or the Excelsior class. I love the Excelsior class. I wish I could have gotten one of these as a freebie ship. You can also have the refit version too. Again, it's a very classic, beautiful ship design. Fleet battle cruiser. Again, just some other stuff here. Katian ships, which I've never seen before. They look like they're from a different... Well, they're from a different science fiction show. I know, I'm just going on about ships here because it might not be the most interesting thing, but I find it fascinating. Here's a Dreadnought Enterprise. I wouldn't mind having one of these. What else do we have here? Some other ship designs I can't really recognize. I know you can get the there are Star Trek Discovery ships in here. Guardian cruiser. Not bad looking. Not bad. I'm not that familiar with the Discovery era ships all that much here. And this thing... Oh, this thing was actually from Voyager. I forgot what the name of this is. Is it the Equinox? Because this is not technically a Federation ship, I think. What? Well, whatever. I guess I don't have any of the Klingon ships in here. And I know a lot of people like the Scimitar, the Riemann Scimitar ship. I see a lot of players using that. I don't know if there's really much else here to look at. I feel like I'm just looking through the same ships here. Like, okay, this thing's kind of a mess. That's kind of a mess right there. Oh, you can have a dreadnought version with the Andromeda skin. Pretty nice. Well, anyway, okay, that's enough about ships here. I'm probably spending way too much time on that. I apologize. Anyway, we should probably do a little bit of ship combat before I run out of time here, so let's head back to my ship here. So I can show you what the ship combat's like before I end here and give my opinion on that. Let's just get out of here. By the way, we just warp speed through that ship right there. Without incident. Okay, we need to find some combat here, or something we can patrol here. See if we can go to one of these planets and see if we can find a patrol mission. I did add the refit engines onto my ship here. The only real difference is that there's a little additional phaser banks on the side here. That's a massive star in my way. Okay, we need to find the planet. Some of these stars are really, like, huge. They kind of get in the way. Okay, there's no mission here. Need to find abandoned ship. Let's see what's over here. I don't know if there's a way to go faster on the space map. I would assume like some of the parts you find that are supposed to increase your warp speed would make you go faster on the space map, but it doesn't really seem like they do. So stop. Oh, it's just the salvage. Okay, we're just salvaging. Oh, deep space encounter. There we go. That's combat. Let's go over there. There are like little random events that'll pop up every now and then. That's just like stuff. Hopefully I'll have some help here, because sometimes these things can take a while. Some of these deep space encounters are a little tough to do by yourself, because you have to deal like waves of enemy ships that keep coming in. And one little ship is sometimes it's a little tough when you're like by yourself. Alright, loading. Loading. I guess it's just us. We'll do what we can. A fleet in the mirror universe. Oh. Okay. I have not encountered them yet. Let's get a little faster here. Oh, he's got like a beefy ship. So this is ship combat with a cruiser ship. It's big, it's slow, very wide turn angle, and basically just kind of go in circles and shoot. Well, it shoots automatically. Hopefully I can turn around and drain its shields a bit. Because the basic idea is to use phasers to lower the shield and then use torpedoes to blow the ship up, basically. Being like harassed by little fighters here. Where are they? Sometimes it's kind of hard to see where the enemy is, sometimes. Come on. Rear torpedoes, fire. I know, I'm probably not fighting as efficiently as some min-maxer players might be, but I'm still learning the game, okay? Cut me some slack here. There we go, we got him. We can take his stuff. And then more ships show up. There, okay. Fire everything. Fire at will. See, this is why I mentioned this feels more like battleship combat. Very slow, very methodical. And just gotta kind of take your time. Now, from what I read, like fighting with escorts and science vessels is a little bit different, because escorts move around very quick, kind of like little fighters. All right, we need to get to these guys. This one's coming. He's real close. Come on, turn the ship around. Turn. Turn, you big bellied beast. You want to try not to fly into the explosions. Go down. This dimension are the rule of the Terran Empire. Yeah, they're trying to mess with me a little bit. Zap, 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 zap.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Well, so far this hasn't been too bad. I haven't really been too overwhelmed yet. I guess the game is trying to balance it a little bit here for me, since I'm by myself.
Target's shield has failed.
Come on, give it a few more photons. Die already. There we go. Turn.
Target's shield has failed. Target's shield has failed.
Oh, he got an Andromeda class ship. I mean, not that. Ambassador, there we go. Come on. Die already.
Target's shield has failed.
Should be done here soon, then that'll probably be it for this stream. Like I said, I'll probably just stream a little bit of this.
Congratulations, Captain.
There we go. Probably not the most exciting stream, not exciting game to stream. But again, it's like combat and travel and puzzles, not the most interesting thing. All right, let's get out of here. Alrighty, so I guess that'll probably be it for this here. This is just a bonus stream for today, because I wanted to kind of get this out of the way. And just kind of update my opinions on the game. I'll probably keep playing around with it here and there. Or at least between some other stuff for the rest of this week until Cyberpunk comes out. In which case I'll be doing Cyberpunk. So, anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little Star Trek-y thing. And maybe I'll shut up about Star Trek for a little while on my streams. So, anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. I will be doing Half-Life later tonight, continuing with that. And the Illusion Guy Randomizer will continue this week as well. And I expect to see a stream of Cyberpunk as well for my initial impressions of the game. Maybe that'll be Thursday night or Friday. We'll see. Anyway. Bye-bye.